Welcome to Igniting Inspired Inquiry, a space for real conversations with incredible humans. I'm your host, Jay, and I'm here to open the door to reflection, resonance, and revelation. If you have a moment to like, share, subscribe, or review, I would deeply appreciate you sharing the love. This is a space for truth, trust, and the kind of insight that comes from simply being human. Thank you for being here. Let's begin. Here we are today. I get to welcome back my friend Rick, and we were just reflecting on his last episode, which was episode number 3, and here we are in episode 40. And for as long as I've known you, we've never had a lack of deep convo, so always excited to share that space with you. So here we are, episode 40. Rick is back. And for those who are listening or watching, who is Rick? I
This is the same question you asked last time.
know. Maybe he's changed. Maybe he's the same. Maybe you want to say something different.
Well, this time, last time I described myself with qualities. This time I have more of a concise words that relate to my identity or who I identify as. So I'm more of a family man these days, which is really cool. And
Mm.
yeah, that feels really good, actually, saying that. I'm also a leader. Um, I'm a frother.
Yes, you are.
Um, yeah, I'm a kind and compassionate man. And yeah, I love doing what I'm doing. It's challenging, it's rewarding, and yeah, I wouldn't have any other lifestyle. I've chosen something that's really fulfilling and meaningful. And yeah. I see myself as a person that loves to be in the great outdoors and connecting with people. Also learning what my boundary is with connecting with people because I'm such an
Mhm.
extrovert, and learning to balance that. So yeah, I consider myself a person who enjoys my personal time and that time, quality time with my family and with my wife as a husband.
Mm.
But I also value the time getting outdoors and having fun.
Mhm.
Because here's another one. I am a busy man. I've got a very full schedule, and it can easily get out of balance. And so,
Mhm.
um, yeah, what's alive for me for who I am is certainly balance.
Mm. That's beautiful. It's nice to hear you claim that, to claim yourself and the leadership, the family man, and all that you are, because I see it and I feel it. So it's nice to hear you claim it.
Mm,
Yay, that's why you inspire me so much.
yeah. Well, it's yeah, the children, my kids, have
Mm,
been the biggest drivers for me for everything that I do now.
mm.
They've been an incredible orientator. Prior to
Added
kids,
a layer of purpose.
yeah, huge
Mm,
like,
mm,
purpose. You know, I come home to um, I come home to my family and I look at the kids that we're raising and it's yeah, every night I'm really grateful for what they're teaching me and how they're guiding me and
mm,
why I'm doing everything. And the ultimate realization from that is that, we're just a blip in time and the next generation are the ones that will be receiving what we are doing, the work that we are doing. And yeah, all that I'm doing is and will be handed over to them.
Legacy.
Very, very purposeful. Yeah.
Mm. And just having that lens as a parent means that you're already offering them such a beautiful life. And that's the way I think, I hope that a lot more move forward. with that
mm,
awareness and with the gratitude for your kids, but also the lens of like they're here to teach you and you're learning as much as they are and learning, growing, shifting with them,
mm,
but also the awareness of what you're doing is creating what's next for them,
mm,
choice or not, like in terms of like, but like just laying the foundation of
mm.
opportunity.
Yeah, and showing other people that aren't parents as well that, the interactions that I have as a father with my children, and yeah, showing them what's possible for them, even
Hmm.
if it's just planting a small seed, just sharing that love of, that presence between me and them in the space in that moment.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because I look at them with big eyes. I'm just like, how did this happen? You know, yeah, blessed with two gorgeous children, and yeah, it's nice to just be really authentic to that feeling that I have in the moment, and be able to share that um, intentionally and unintentionally as well.
Hmm. Mm, beautiful. I love that. I'm curious as we go into the common thread, question one, which you've answered before. What is one moment, belief, or experience that's changed the way you see the world?
Something's very alive for me right now. Um, it's a collection of moments, um, but it's what leaves the impact that's alive for me. And um, it's through challenge that leaves an imprint, an emotional imprint that latches on to a place wherever it latches onto. And it's very alive for me because in a role of leadership, I'm dealing with a lot of navigation with people. And there's a great challenge of remaining grounded and stable and centered. And with that is this inner meeting this emotional latch that's kind of like, it's almost like there's defense and there's protection, but there's also like an emotional reaction to let's say confrontation. And it's kind of like, whoa, I'm feeling this kind of response to confrontation, to challenge. And it's really got me thinking the question, how do you how do you work with this? How do you not let that take over the being and just go into full reactive mode? Um, and that's a question, as a leader and to other leaders as well, of how do you process that latch, that emotional latch? Um, and yeah, there's many different ways that come to mind for me, but it's been really alive for me because it's really shown me how I can um, choose a better reaction in this world. Um, it's really shown me, like just observing that, how we can slip down one way, which is sending a responsive text which has emotion and which has that what's latched on and projected back out. But then also watching, like, I haven't done that, thankfully. There's been the draft messages of frustration, but then not sending it.
Mm,
And it's
mm,
really shown me a type of leadership that is really powerful, that can change the world. And yeah, I'm navigating, just observing as a witness, just watching this latch, this emotional response and that tightening and that feeling, and it's yucking, like, whoa. And then through means processing it through like movement and through talking it out with my partner, and then letting it simmer, and then responding once I'm grounded. It's been so powerful with working with people.
that's huge. Huge. There's a massive amount of regulation in that. Massive amount. But what I also hear is a couple things. Question. It is even maybe the term latch is like sort of does that is that saying that it's something that kind of attaches itself to you? Is that what it feels like?
I feel when there's been moments of confrontation, that moment it comes up,
Hmm.
I've noticed a response,
Hmm.
a visceral response.
Reaction. Yeah.
Uh, if there's been a physical reaction,
Hmm.
like emotion are tied to it,
Yep.
and that's, that's a limiting belief reacting, like, oh, I've done something wrong, I haven't been
Mm.
good, or oh, I'm not going to be accepted. There's limiting beliefs that, as I feel, is no matter how much work you do, there is always going to be something inside that trick like
100%. It's
triggers.
human.
Yeah, it's human. It's a human response.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the sticking of it. Like it's
Hmm.
almost like throwing spaghetti against the wall. And so
Hmm.
that's what I mean by latch.
Hmm.
Like it just sticks there for a bit
Yeah.
until it
Yeah, got it.
decides to slide off.
Yes.
And then fall on the floor.
Slide off, or you choose to move it, like as you
Mhm.
alluded to, like through conversation, through movement, like actually, because I think that's what you're doing more often rather than letting it slide off. But what I'm hearing as well, and you might um connect to this, is like knowing and this is what I did, so I'm speaking for myself, but like and reflecting that back, is understanding my human design and knowing that I have an emotional wave. And so that I need to, whatever happens, I need to sit with to, and so step back from and let that emotional wave move through me before I then respond. So that A has me stepping back from reacting, not reacting in my own space, but reacting with whatever's going on. And then also stepping back in terms of zooming out. So responding from my whole truth, not the limited part of me that's reacted.
100%.
It's huge.
And that's a very, I love the word smart, but I also love the words like strategy. I love the word strategy and strategy, being strategic on, yeah, navigating relationships and people's personalities, and then like how to communicate with people without burning
It's
bridges.
huge. While
Huge,
also holding your own boundaries.
100%.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. There was
It's
a
such a
there,
huge thing to play as a leader, like not play, well, play, because, and when I say play, it's curiosity. It's not as though I'm playing a game. Play in terms of like being open and being curious. But it's also massive and necessary if you're going to be a leader is to step outside of the personal experience because you're also wanting to respond as a leader, you're responding as a business, you're responding as the whole, as a community, not
Mhm.
just from self.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. There's you know, who we choose to become um is also associated with what we represent and what other entities we represent. So, for
Mm,
example, I represent my business. I represent the land, because when people say, um, "Oh, who's Rick?" um, they associate it with an experience that they've had. And for a lot of the time, people come to WellSpace to come experience the product of WellSpace. And people know who I am because they've been to WellSpace. So if I were to react emotionally, um, I'm actually then giving people the opportunity um, to associate that reaction with what I represent. Oh, for example, I don't want to go there because I heard,
mm,
Rick did XYZ. And so now if
mm-hmm,
opinions are formed and it's associated with other things.
mm.
So that's just people form opinions. You can't stop that.
Well, that's where I was going to get to because I mean, you're operating in a way and communicating in a way that's leadership for the whole, for everything that you represent. However, there's an awareness that there's a lack of compassion for people being like human.
Mm,
And what I mean is there's a lot of pressure as a leader to be perfect and to show up in the absolutely right way. Because if you don't, then example as you gave, it will impact so many facets of your life because people have there's a lack of compassion or even just not even compassion, understanding that everybody is human and nobody is perfect. And that because what as you were sharing that, I totally hear the intention and why you choose that. It's also emotional regulation, it's really powerful. But at the same time, there is this awareness that we don't get to have an emotion negative without it having an impact. There's less tolerance and even understanding for someone just being able to do that. That's an emotion. They're having an emotion. It's like, how dare they do this? It's like, they're having
mm,
an emotion.
mm.
They're being human right
And
now.
I feel it's very common these days to be quick to judge
That's
and
that's what
and
I'm
then to
referring
hold,
to. Yeah,
and then to hold on to that judgment.
agreed. Yeah, and make it mean a whole bunch of things,
Put a story behind it and then share that with other people.
which is nobody's fucking business.
100%.
Oh,
When we look at how humans were formed back in the day,
mm,
or at least the knowledge that I've gathered, that how we've built our civilization is based around the ability to tell stories. From the monkey going, um, watch out, there's a lion, to 2 o'clock, I saw a lion down at the river, you better watch out or else he might eat you. There's a lot more story behind communication. And so
mm-hmm,
as we've developed communication skills, so has the ability to gossip and share
mm-hmm,
stories.
mm,
Um, and it's been there from the very beginning, I believe. And I've been fortunate enough to be stuck in an echo chamber of gossip
mm.
where
Woo,
I've been in, well, me and Paige have been together for 11 years, 11
mm,
and a half, married for 5. And at the very start of our relationship, we actually got brought together from our two best friends at the time.
mm,
Now, if you can just take a moment to think of that dynamic,
mm,
um, our two best friends were together and we were both together.
mm.
Paige was best friends with the other girl, and I was best friends with my mate. So Paige would tell me something,
Oh
and
shit.
I'd confide in my best mate, who would then tell it to his girlfriend, then to
Hmm.
tell it to Paige, then to tell it back to me. And she'd go, "Why did you tell him about XYZ?"
Yeah.
And this
Oof.
went on for quite a wee while. And
Mm.
that was quite a moment for me to understand that there needs to be a cut in the chain where the communication actually stops, and that is unnecessary to pass on
Hmm.
our opinions to people because it
Hmm.
comes back around and bites you in the ass.
Yeah. Well, and also the key piece there that you said was our opinions,
Hmm.
because often what's happening, and this is the bit that I was hearing as well, is it's not the fact that's being shared, it's an opinion based on the fact that that was received. Or therefore, what I get really annoyed about, especially with gossip and things like that, is a lot of what's being shared is based on assumption. So
Hmm.
it's not even true, or it's a form of the truth flavored with opinion, possibly with emotion from when they receive that information. But then someone else will hear that and take that for truth.
Mm.
So even a lot of what's being shared isn't even fucking true.
Hmm.
Or it's
And then
just,
that person takes that on, and their opinion of that person is now formed through another person's experience.
thank you. Yeah, exactly. And someone else is even being treated based on that assumption layered with opinion with a teeny bit of fact. There's a lot of that happening, and that's why it's just that if it's not my information, it's not to be shared. That's a core value in me.
Hmm.
That's something that I had to instill as being a coach and being a leader and all the things as well. But it's like even in my friend groups, if it's not mine to share, it ain't
Hmm.
going to be shared.
Hmm.
Unless there's only one area of that, unless it's with love and concern. So
Mm.
you're trying to sort of tune in, like how is this person going or whatever it is. But that, again, that's still not shared any further. It's my information that I want so that I
Hmm.
can support them in whatever way it is. But that's the only time. Otherwise, it also just gossip. I remember, oh, you'll know this. The four agreements. Woo! And the energy of gossip. It's like black magic. It's like it's toxic.
Mm.
And then like layer that with don't make assumptions and have awareness of the assumptions that you're making and then sharing,
Mm.
that's just a whole lot of untruth.
And it's damaging.
Mm. And
And it's
that's what a
really,
lot of people just aren't considering at all
yeah.
or don't care.
I
And that's
feel
hard.
it's, yeah, I feel it's until you've actually been involved personally in an experience where gossip or people's opinions have come back around or background conversations, until you've really experienced it. I feel that like until you really experience it is when really start to be awake of, oh wow, the information that I share with people is and can be damaging to people's reputations.
Hmm.
And it's only, if people can really listen and understand through these types of conversations and living through vicariously through other people's experience,
Hmm.
that's the easy way. The hard way is living it. But if we can really look at the impact
Hmm.
that our words have on one another and how it's actually said as well, so that emotion
Agreed.
that's behind it is really important to be conscious of because we can ruin people's lives. An easy post on social media
Yep.
can ruin someone's
Hmm.
life.
Yep.
It can create so much inner turmoil.
Hmm.
It's as easy as just taking a pause, taking a breath, and processing the emotion and
Hmm.
considering what's important to share. Yeah, it's as you said, it's that just pulling out. and
Hmm.
just observing the whole thing as a living, oh, what's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Understanding, what could come of it, but also, I mean, I just don't live in that world. If it's not like directly affecting me, it's none of my business.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if
Mm,
I don't know all of the facts and all of the truths or am like directly involved, it's not mine to have an opinion on
mm,
because it's none of my business.
hmm.
That's a really, yeah, strong value of mine, but I really
Mm,
understand what you're saying. It's like really considering the impact of your
hmm.
actions.
Hmm. I really love the word orientate or
Mm,
reorientate
mm,
because when I've been involved in that type of situation, I'm like, let's refocus. Let's look at where we really want to be, what we really want to be talking about here,
I
and
love
what's
that.
important.
Hmm.
And and just being more like I love being solution focused because it's not getting stuck in the past and getting stuck in an eddy. It's like just step out of that and what's the next step? Where are we going with all
Hmm.
of this? And what
Hmm.
would we rather
Hmm.
be feeling? What would we rather be sharing? You know?
Mm. Yeah. I think that also brings in consideration of what's the objective here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that might stop people in their tracks too. If you just ask that question, what's the objective here?
Mm.
What am I trying to achieve?
I feel like I've been around you saying not in that word, but being in that
Yeah.
space when you've done that. It's yeah, I can something in me that relates.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a really powerful kōrero where we just went. Thank you for sharing. And I think that for those who are listening, they'll either like deeply connect with what we're sharing, or it's perhaps a new lens that they get to consider, whether it's considering leaders in it with a different view and maybe the pressure that they're under, or considering the impact of their choices and their communication and their assumptions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a
And
simple question, right?
yeah,
Like, how do I handle the situation? What's
yep,
the best way to move forward?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And for me, it's like, is this of higher service?
Yeah.
And then that's going to stop you in your tracks if it's not positive. Yeah. And we've all done that, right? Like we've all and so as I'm thinking about the listener and maybe receiving that and feeling a bit whoa about it, maybe reflecting on previous behaviors. We've all been a part of that. That's how we know that it doesn't sit with us or it doesn't serve us. We've been caught up in that, or we've shared something we shouldn't have, or we've made an assumption about someone and then, well, I have for sure. And
Mhm.
but that's also how I learned. So if it makes you, as you're hearing this, feel uncomfortable, I've felt that. I needed
Mhm.
that I needed that discomfort. I needed that ego smack in the head to really see what was different, but also to really
Mhm.
understand the implications of my actions. So that's how we came to this learning, right? Was through the opposite.
It's a learning opportunity.
Hmm.
Yeah. And as when I've seen myself say something that I feel like was incorrect, I've corrected myself. I said,
Hmm.
"Oh, that's what I wasn't really meant. That wasn't what I was really trying to communicate," and
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
We can we're allowed to change our minds. We're
I'm
allowed.
so all for correcting ourselves.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm
lovely.
so all for that, or calling myself out. I'll say something,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I didn't mean that. Like,
Mhm.
because people are like, well, you did because you said it. No, because some of it is unconscious, some of it is subconscious, some of it is conditioning, some of it is stuff that was passed to us. So we actually need to call it out in order for it to change, right? So there's some things that come through and they're like, ugh, take that back.
Mm. And there is so much strength in that.
Hmm.
Like that is being a strong leader is owning owning your mistakes,
Yeah.
and if we really want to change this world, it's all about role modeling. You know,
Mm,
I
agreed.
do. I do. Another great example. When I lose my shit, around my kids, I
Mm,
apologize. I let the energy simmer first.
hmm
I regulate and I go back and I say to my boys, I'm sorry. Daddy was really frustrated and
mm,
apologize for the way I behave. And it makes me
there you
feel
go.
so much better,
Yeah.
you
But it
know?
also, on that, it also gives them the opportunity to understand and to see regulation and to see open and honest communication because it's not about you being perfect. It's not about you not being angry around your kids. It's what you do after that
Hmm.
because you're human.
Hmm.
Because that's a greater lesson than not being ever angry around them, is
Hmm.
how you show up after.
And I give so much respect to those people who own their stuff, who own their
Hmm
actions. I have so much respect for them because I see that learning opportunity then being reapplied, and that's wisdom, you know.
hmm
Wisdom to me is applied knowledge.
Yep.
And
It's
they're
also,
the type of people that I wanna surround myself with.
yes, yes. It's also vulnerability, which is
Hmm.
one of the best places to lead from, no matter what you're doing in life. It's also an opportunity for deeper connection when you let people in to, I was going to say mistakes, but I don't see anything as a mistake, but those weaknesses or those wobbles or whatever it is. So when you let people into that, well, I mean, we're reminding each other that we're human and that we're not perfect, but we
Mm.
we connect in a deeper level in terms of what we're working on or what we're trying to change or what's present for us, and it's such a powerful thing.
Hmm. And that to me, to round that back to where we were at the start of the
Yeah.
conversation, determines who you are.
hmm
Our actions determine who we are. If we, you know, wobble and then we go back and apologize and own up
hmm
for how we behaved, that
Yes.
that shows you the type of person you are. And
hmm
there's brilliant words that could surround that.
Agreed. As long as there's then change in the action.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I've also seen like you can't just apologize and then repeat the same behavior.
Hmm. Mm.
Yes, apologize, work
Mm.
on it, but you've got to change the behavior too, because otherwise the sorry doesn't mean shit.
Mm. Especially repeated.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like you're not perfect. It will happen again, but if it keeps happening and you think that it's just the sorry that's needed, not the change,
Hmm.
that's not okay.
I give people chances.
Oh, absolutely.
I give people two chances.
There you go.
When it happens a third time, that's a giant red flag that needs addressing.
Yep.
Because here's another great avenue that we can take.
Mm.
I love the analogy of green flags, orange flags, and red flags. Now we've all got red flags. We're not perfect as humans.
Mm. hmm
Um, green flags, I'd say there are 95% of this is very generalizing, but 95% of what we do in the world, for the majority of humans, are all green flags. We come at with such good intentions usually in the first place,
Mm.
and our behaviors from our programming will show both orange and red flags. Now,
hmm
orange flags is what I can tolerate. I
hmm
can tolerate because we're not perfect. I can
Yep.
tolerate behaviors that can be learned, like it can be learned as a learning
hmm
process. I
And
chances.
unlearn. Yeah.
In football, you get two yellow cards, right? You get
hmm
chances. If there's a red flag, I'll be seriously contemplating whether I invite you into my life or not,
Completely
because
understand that.
I've only got a limited time and limited
hmm
energy. And if this red flag is going to be the detriment, this behavior is going to be a detriment to my culture, to my
Hmm.
company, to my family, then yeah, I don't have much room for that. So I always give people chances. I from my own lived experience, I'm very careful of who I give my
Hmm.
time to now, and I am
Mm.
looking at what these green, yellow, and red flags are.
Yeah.
And if I see gossiping happening, then it's a bit of a yellow flag for me. And I'm
Hmm.
like, let's just nip this in the bud. Let's learn from this
Hmm.
opportunity. If it continues, well, we'll take
See ya.
what's necessary. Yeah, yeah, take what's necessary action.
Hmm. Yep. I
Yeah,
agree.
we've only got so
Yeah.
much space.
Well, and we're here to have a good time. We've done the work because we want to be better people and we want a beautiful environment around us and those who matter we really deeply care about. So
Mhm.
therefore, if you're impacting that, I I wish you well. And also I'm going this way.
Mm, yeah.
You do you.
And those red flags, like it's learning, like I give people learning opportunities even with the red
Mm.
flags, but I
Yep,
set my boundaries hard on those.
that's key. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's self-preservation, but it's also protecting the leader that you are. It's a beautiful thing. Woo! There we go. Ding, ding, ding. So here we are, question two, which you don't know, but it's very much in alignment with the first question or where we went with the first question. But what I'm thinking about now is like some more like tools orientated, like what do you do? And so this question is like when you have that, what you called a latch, or where you have that emotional reaction, what do you do to move the energy?
Mm, yeah, good question. Well, yeah, there's many different tools that that I've used.
Hmm.
Um, what I find, oh, here's an example. Last night, I was reading a text message, and it was actually a voice note. And the first 30 seconds, I knew where this was going, and I stopped it. I stopped it halfway through. It was a long voice note. And I knew where this was going, and I don't. I said to myself, I don't need to listen to this right now. And I threw the phone on the bed. Now, for me, the phone is one of the biggest stresses, um, distractions, stresses in my life because that's where most comms come through.
Yep.
So, actually removing myself from the phone, separating myself from the phone, and finding a more appropriate time has been a very useful tool for me. And I've got a wee little system I use, particularly with my messages, where I unread messages. So I'll tune into the message, and um, I'll then prioritize that message with where I'm at. Because as I said, my schedule is very, very full, and I've got a family, and I have to set some boundaries with my family time. I had checked this within that boundary of family time, and I was like, "What am I doing?" So I threw my phone away and said, "I'm not checking this till tomorrow," and that's what I did. I found a more appropriate time. I let it simmer, and it did a little bit of percolating, and I really set a mental boundary within me, saying, "Just let it go. This will get dealt with." But right now, there's a little emotional reaction at the wrong time. And so I unread the message, I threw it on the bed, and I left it. And that has been a really beautiful way for me to downregulate and also find a more appropriate time to listen to it and give it the time that it needed. So yeah, separation, time, and then just finding the best time really.
That's beautiful. It also explains a similar, like letting the emotional wave happen and responding at the appropriate time, but also creating that boundary with it. Yeah, which really ensures that you're not going to react.
Hmm.
You're coming from a place of response and you're really
Yes.
choosing. when is the right time, your ability to respond.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is
I love
beautiful.
the word react because it's
Hmm.
like, if something's acting on me, then I'm
Yep.
reacting back.
Yes.
So a reaction
Hmm.
compared to a response.
Hmm.
And so response for me is very grounded. It's
It's
very
embodied.
factual, and
Yep.
it's very straight to the point using nonviolent communication,
Agreed. That's
which
really
is another
powerful.
useful tool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Key.
NVC. For those who don't
Yeah.
know, NVC has been a beautiful structure to work with confrontation.
It's
Uh,
amazing, eh?
yeah, look it up, Google
Amazing.
it. It's very
Yeah, it's a
simple.
great audiobook. Great audiobook, Nonviolent Communication.
Mm.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, don't ask me that now. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, actually. I listened to that, but it was next level when
Hmm.
when I received that, and it was just that's a big and that
Mm.
makes sense as to how we're at
Mm.
where we're at. But also, I want to share just on the back of that, like how I move energy, if that has been that. And like a really big part of it, because a lot of part of my work, but also just my own self-regulation is knowing that an emotion is, so reaction, emotion is energy in motion and it needs to move. So understanding that is the first piece. And then the second is like, how does it need to be moved? And does it need to be verbally expressed? Does it need to be, does there need to be distance? Does it need to be physically moved? And that physical might be really different too. It might be aggressive, it might be like full on, like assertive, like really like
Mhm.
full on, or it may be really gentle.
Mm.
And so therefore like yin and softness and slowness or breath or somatic,
Mm.
it's like, so you try these things on and then you figure out your way. But
Mm.
feeling is healing. And what
Mm.
does that mean? Is that you let energy, emotion move. And that's what we're
Mm.
here for. So I just want to share that.
That's beautiful.
Mm.
I there's an exercise I do in the shower actually,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you know how you can do like a little bit of a body roll.
Yeah, spinal wave.
You know what? I'm going to show you.
Okay, go on.
Because I've actually found this viscerally really powerful in the morning to reset. And
Yeah, you
so
need to
when I
describe
wake
it
up in the
verbally
morning,
too, though, because there'll be people listening. You
okay,
need to
just
describe it as you do it, just telling you
sure,
what to
sure.
do. Oh.
So when I wake up in the morning, my mind starts thinking, and I'm
Mm,
sure there's a lot of listeners that can relate. The thoughts just kick in, and especially if there's something that we've been sleeping on, it will just be the
mm,
first thing that comes up in our brain, and this is how the day starts. And so, if that happens to me, I have a shower. Shower is very cleansing and it's very washing.
mm,
And I've started doing this exercise where I do like it's like shaking out, it's like flicking
mm.
out the energy, like you're talking about, like
Yes,
really like imagining like flicking out this like just stuff out of the body.
yes,
And I
yes.
do it. I'll just, okay, can you see me
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And
Yes.
so I'm letting the shower over me and I'm doing this, it's kind of like flicking it out.
Yeah.
And I do this on a cold shower. Now the cold shower is really awesome for being really present. And I'm just like just like flicking it out like this. And it's been
Mm.
so
Flicking it
powerful
away from
for
your
me.
body.
It's like, yeah, the upper body and the
Yep.
arms and rolling forward and
Mm,
just letting the limbs go loose and just like letting it go. And that's
mm.
really powerful for letting energy go first thing in the morning for me from emotional um, instances.
Yeah, yeah. Shaking is powerful. Like it literally shakes tension out of the body, but not necessarily just in a physical way. Like anxious
Mhm.
tension, nervous system regulation is the shaking as well. It's a beautiful way to start your day.
It's just movement,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Movement is key.
it's massive.
Yeah, yeah.
Massive. We could have a whole nother hour talking about that.
I know. Another time. But I agree. But I mean, for those who are listening, if you're not sure, just find a way that feels good in your body and you'll find it. Your body knows. Your body knows what to do. If we come out of our head and into the body, it'll give us exactly what we need to do to
Mm-hmm.
move it.
And
Yeah.
for those who are into ecstatic dance, you'll know what it feels like to let go of
Yes.
the mind and just and
Yep.
be embodied and like just surrender
Yum.
yourself to the music. It feels yummy.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful medicine. Highly recommend, clearly from both of us. So here we go. We get to move into question 3, reflecting light. So, my friend, you have a question for me.
Mm. Well, I always love doing things ab lib, and they
Mhm.
usually just come down.
Down for it.
Um, how do you place mental boundaries?
How do I
So
place
this
mental
goes
boundaries?
this comes along with what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
If something comes in, a piece of information or data or like words or audio or something you've seen, and
Mm.
and then there's a rumination, like the mind kicks in. How do you set like well, there's a processing? How do you set mental boundaries around that?
So I think what you're meaning, I just want to get clarity, is like whether I dive into that now or whether I place space between it. Is that what you mean? Or how I process it?
Hmm. Yeah, so I find the mind is very talkative,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's really hard to turn off.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So it's
How do you set that
understanding.
boundary with your mind?
Yeah. Wow. Again, it's listening to the body. So am I in the right place to process this right now? And so for me, it's am I coming, is this higher service? Like, am I coming at it from the right place? And so this is a conversation that I'm having in my mind, but also, okay, so this is like when I'm in mental boundaries, I've got really good, I think, and we need to because of phones. And actually, on the explanation that you shared, is that we can receive anything from any tone at any time. And depending on where we're at, that can either, it can just, someone can change our world in a moment in terms of what they share and how they share it. And I don't know that that's good for us as humans. So, mental boundaries before anything even comes in is no notifications on my phone, because we're talking about phones, like this is where we can get like, this is where the highest rate of those disruptions or those distractions or those interruptions or those like, yeah, can come in. So a little bit like what you shared, but and I have all sorts of boundaries on my phone about when it's on, when it's not, it doesn't make sound, it doesn't vibrate. I choose when I use my phone. It does not interrupt my day. I think that's a really powerful mental boundary and regulation. And then it is also maybe one step before where you're at with like read and unread. It's literally just seeing who it's from and choosing. So, what I mean by that is like client or someone who is challenging or, seeing who it's from and then choosing whether this is the time or space to meet that
Mm.
respond. Again, if it's in um, mental boundary, I mean, the best part would be, and this is coming back to some of the stuff we are talking about in the first question, is discernment.
Mm.
This is mine.
Mm. Ooh.
And a huge mental boundary. So actually, we go right steps back, right? Someone's sharing something with me, and if it is not mine, I will either say out loud, no, thank you, or I'm saying that in my head, no, thank you. This is not at, or I'm saying, and my clients know this about me. So some of them, my clients, if they're listening, they're nodding. They're like, yeah, and it works because they reflected that back to me. My two favorite mental boundaries, I love that you've got me to this, but are no thank you and this is not mine.
I gotta write that down. I'm gonna write that down right now.
No, thank you is also an energetic protection. So when I'm saying no, thank you, the energy of whatever it is that you were wanting me to receive is going back to you because it's not
Hmm.
mine. Yeah, but also I share that because a lot of people are sharing things or saying what they're saying, or especially the way they're saying it, because they want you to have what they're feeling.
Mm.
And it is not mine, so no, thank you.
And that is what I feel latches is it's not just an emotional reaction that latches, but it's that energy that gets passed through.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah, no, thank you. I love it. There was what was her brain, a neuroscience psychologist or whatever. Excuse my ignorance on the title. Her name is Amanda Fu, brilliant. She gave us some training, and just to go along with what you're saying with that tool,
Mm.
she
Hmm.
said the words delete, delete, delete.
Yes.
Something
Yeah.
comes in, it enters into the brain, you've listened to it, it's been processed in the brain. Oh no, it's in there now. What do we do? Delete, delete, delete. Shh, get it out. I don't want it. No, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Agreed.
brilliant. That's really
Agreed.
powerful, Jay.
Well, and the other thing to consider here, because some people might be hearing that and thinking, well, that's really selfish, or that means you're not listening. That's not true. What it means is I'm not taking it on to be mine. It does not mean I'm not listening. Not at all. But actually, to flip that on its head, it's actually of higher service to the other person. Because if I take what you think I need or the weight that you want me to carry, I'm not fixing it for you anyway.
Mm,
So it's not mine. No, thank you. It's
hmm
yours to deal with. It's yours
hmm
to heal or to move or to fix or whatever you need, but it's not mine.
mm. Beautiful.
But
Beautiful.
even, and so I use that a lot in perspectives. Like, so when you're out in the community and people are sharing perspectives that are not in alignment with me, I will actually say out loud, no, thank you,
Hmm.
because I don't agree.
Mm,
But I don't need to say in that environment, I don't agree with you and start having an argument or whatever else. I just need it to be known to myself, to the universe.
hmm
No, thank you. I do not agree.
hmm
Because a lot of those areas you can't say that. I have a cat that wants to come up. Hi.
Oh, yes, please.
I know, she wants to snuggle. You'll probably hear her, yes, in the microphone. So I guess I just need to elaborate on the method to the madness there.
Hmm
But I love that
hmm
you got me to that because when you first asked the question, I was like, what are my mental boundaries? And then it took me a minute, but then I got there.
Mm.
And those, I use them all the time.
It's a protect, as you're saying, as the energy comes through, you're
Yes,
protecting yourself from it. And
we
it's,
need that
not
more
turning your ears
now.
off, as you're saying, you're
Yeah.
just protecting yourself on that stuff that sticks.
Yeah, but you're also doing what's of service to them too, because you
Mhm.
can't fix it, you can't hold it, it's not yours. But you
Mm.
can be there and be present. And I'm still that, depending on what's happening. Otherwise, I'm like, no, thank you. Just
And by saying no, thank you, you're role modeling that you're breaking that chain.
yep,
You're showing
yes,
them how to do it,
yeah.
you know?
Because I think there's also the other thing that's happening is there's so many people that don't know what to say or how to respond and will nod,
Mm.
which the other person will take as agreement.
Mm.
No, thank you. I need you to be really clear. No, thank you. Like, this is not mine, and I do
Mm.
not agree.
A
But what
nodding or
matters?
a yep, yep, I'm
Yeah,
listening. Yep.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yep, what are
yeah.
you saying yes to?
They take that as like you're on board with them, and
Mhm.
it's also it's untrue, but it's and what comes back to is being inauthentic.
Mhm.
But more so than that person hearing me say no, thank you. Is what's more important to me is that the universe knows that that is a no thank you from me. Like
Mm.
I do not agree, and that is not in alignment with me. And just so you know, universe and energy, no.
Mm. Nice. No, yeah, it's that simple, really, isn't it? And
Yeah.
yeah, I see like not only is that an external no, um,
Hmm.
but what you're saying before is there's an internal conversation that's happening with yourself.
Yep. Yeah. And I
Which
don't
is all
even, it's so
mental.
natural now. I don't even know I'm doing it.
Mm,
But, and then, oh, that just happened. It's like sometimes when you feel that the energy is really heavy around you and it's a lot, it's intense, and people, perhaps unbeknownst to them, want you to hold it, they want you to have it, they want to throw it at you. For me, it's a big, deep, and they'll
mm,
see me do that. And again, I'm like protecting me. And you've actually seen me do that. I
hmm
remember that. And it's also what it does is stops people in their tracks so they realize what they're doing, because
hmm
sometimes it's unconscious,
mm,
because it might not even be theirs. They've just picked it up and they're passing it on. And I'm like, like you
mm.
said, breaking the chain.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do witness that with you, Jay, and that's what I admire is you've got very strong boundaries and you role model that very well. So
Mm.
here's a plug for you. For
Oh, yeah.
those who want to learn more about boundaries, energetic or not,
Yeah.
Jay, you're incredible. Yeah, go see Jay. She's
Thank you.
been you've been an incredible friend and a mentor
Mm.
to me
Mm.
just by being you. And that's what I want to see in this world.
Mm.
I want to see more of that leadership where people are authentic and will stand for stand for how we want to live, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We want to live in a real world where we're protecting ourselves from that yucky energy
Yep.
and stopping
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah. Not passing it on, being present to who we are, being honest and deep in connection. Yeah.
Honest, honesty.
I
Oh,
know, right? I know. And that's the thing, is like, yeah, that even ties into what we're talking about. If it's an assumption, if it's an expanded opinion, if it's not yours, somebody else said it to you and then you're passing it on, like, ugh, it's not in alignment, but it's not honest.
mm,
And even more than that, it ain't authentic.
mm,
And that's what I strive for deeply. And you know that. That's why we connected. There's that deep level of understanding and authenticity,
mhm.
and being true to,
Oof.
yeah.
You're dropping bombs, Jay.
That's what happens when we chat, mate.
That's
Oh, and
brilliant.
about you.
Honesty and authenticity. They are so powerful, those two values. And
Yeah.
I'm going to
If we
write
could,
those down.
if we could all come back to that place within ourselves, the world would be, there's no doubt, a better place.
Man, one more useful tool before we wrap this
Mm,
up is
yes.
is a whiteboard. So,
Mm,
so for those who appreciate having visual cues to remind you on where we are reorientating our
yes.
time and our energy,
Values.
is
Mm.
is use a whiteboard, get a magnet one, or wherever it's going to be in your face. I've got mine on my fridge. I have my couch sitting right in front of the fridge. So every time I sit down on the couch, I'm staring at this thing, and it's got three columns. It's got structures of success.
Mm,
It's got my priorities, and it's got my values.
yes.
And honesty and authenticity is a powerful value to write on your whiteboard team.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree. I also am a huge advocate for like the things that you are stepping into, the things that you're wanting to embody more. Put those reminders around you, because we
Oh,
get unconscious and we need to see it to be
oh, hold
reminded. We
on. I
need
got
the
to take this
reminder.
call and get
Yeah.
distracted on how I should, you know, show up
Yes.
in life.
Yeah.
Oh, what were we talking about? Oh, that's
Hmm.
right. Honesty and authenticity.
Hmm.
Thank you for reminding me, whiteboard and Jay.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's a beautiful part of the space that you've created at WellSpace, and what people can receive when they come for well-being, for contrast hydrotherapy, for not just that though, connection, for nervous system regulation for sure, and stress adaptation. And that started with you.
Doing what I love.
Yeah. So for those who are listening, and as we come to the end, can you share about that? How do people find WellSpace and what you've created?
Yeah, so WellSpace essentially is what it is in the name. It's a space for wellness. We focus on the sauna and cold plunge aspect to get us into a space of down regulation, and also cultivate community and connection between humans and nature. It's a very
Mm.
simple concept, and it's a growing trend that's exploding all around the world.
Mm.
And it's a very simple process from just relaxing in the heat, and exposing yourself to short amounts of stress that then builds anti-stress pathways within the body.
Mm.
That's just on a physiological level. There's also the mental level where you push yourself and you build more resilience in the body, and you get to do it with cool humans.
Mm-hmm. That's a
Um,
key piece
so,
in
so
a beautiful space in nature, which
yeah,
is
yeah,
important.
nature's one of the most powerful tools you can do. And so
Yeah,
I'll just give you a little sneak peek of our family property here.
yeah,
And
yeah.
well, but essentially this is WellSpace, a place where you can come and connect with yourself, each other, and nature. You can find us online at wellspace.co.nz
I'll
and
share that here.
book there for as little as $35 for 75 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
You can meet locals, you can meet people abroad, and
So good.
and
Every
yeah,
time I'm in Queenstown, I go because it really does. It resets in a different way, but also with what you've created, the vibe is great. The connections are amazing, the conversation, which I think is really important for where we're at in society, and is yeah, being able to find connection, especially if you're traveling or if you don't have a lot of yeah, beautiful like-minded social connection, people that you can have conversations with. It's a space for that.
you can also find us on Instagram as well, at Wellspace Sauna, and
Yes.
just have a look, and you'll get a
Mm.
feel of what we're all about.
Yay, do it. Highly recommend. Okay, my friend, our time for our second recording here is up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you having me back on your lovely podcast.
It's always a pleasure, never a chore, and I will see you soon.